In 3, 2, and 1. Hello, everyone, and thank you guys so much for joining us today for our Friday weekly webinar. I am joined by our awesome managing attorney, Ruby Powers. A little bit on our managing attorney. So she's been licensed since 2008, founded PLG in November 2009. She's an all-star remote attorney manager whenever she ran the firm from Dubai from 2011 to 2012. So Attorney Powers is no stranger to this adaptation. She's a board certified immigration attorney, and she is also an author for AILA, the American Immigration Leadership, American Immigration
Leadership Forum.
There we go. And she is the author for Build and Manage Your Successful Immigration Law Practice Without Losing Your Mind. And whenever she's not doing Powers Law Group stuff, she also likes to, create new, new companies. So she also founded Power Strategy Group in 2020. So awesome, and congrats, Ruby. And now we're going to go ahead and take it away with today's webinar topic on general immigration trends and updates from the American Immigration Lawyers Association annual conference, which our attorney is attending and is a chair. So she does have really good information. It seems that every time the AILA conference happens, there's a lot of stuff going on in the media about immigration. So I'll let Attorney Powers take it away with some of the immigration trends and updates.
All right, thank you so much. So basically the conference is going on right now as we speak, and my head is like about to explode. No, just kidding. I'm trying to squeeze in regular work days and listen to the conference, which is going great, learning lots of things. So I just wanted to give you an update. We're only halfway through, in a way, 2/3 through. It started on Tuesday and we're going all the way until the end of tomorrow, Saturday. So I just wanted to give you some of my first impressions of some of the things that I'm hearing, seeing here. You know, we've done what's general updates and everything, but there's been a lot going on just this last few weeks. And so on the family-based immigration front, I would say that, you know, we're starting to see receipts faster, interviews are happening more. Some interviews are being waived because of the certain criteria are met, like through petitioning for parent, where we've been seeing that for a while. So I'm still watching the conference and giving those updates, but just wanted to let you know. The other thing is that the Supreme Court case, Sanchez v. Mayorkas, that came out, was that this week? It's all starting to blur together. That could have an impact on a lot of people who had filed for adjustment under having TPS considered previously in certain circuits, not in the Fifth Circuit, where we are located and mostly practice under as an admission. So anyway, family-based immigration. The other thing that I heard that would touch that would be that they think that a lot of the visas will hopefully be moving forward, going later on into this next fiscal year, which starts October 1st. So we'll continue to monitor that. And just generally, I think, you know, positive things about family-based immigration. In terms of employment investment-based, you know, we've already talked about in the past that there's the entrepreneur visa. We're starting to see more of a warming of employment and investment-based visas in the country. In terms of details, there was a change with the L1 border entry from Canada. Continuing to monitor that. Let's see. I think what's really affecting a lot of people is that they're trying to come in, and the UK, London canceled a whole bunch of appointments recently, all the way up until October. So then that's had a lot of people scurry to go try to find appointments in other countries. But what I'm hearing is that sometimes they'll get the visa appointment will get canceled a couple of weeks before the appointment happens. So like I said, I'm trying to think of what I'm learning just this week, even though we've been monitoring immigration. We do it all the time. So those were some of the things that sort of stuck out at me. Humanitarian visas, just there's a huge backlog. Biden had proposed giving more visas for you, and that still is a proposal that hasn't become a law. There was lots of talk about how lots of visas get wasted. It's like having one speaker said it's like having a lot of food but not everybody gets to eat it, and then they go hungry, and that's sort of the issue with a lot of visas that don't get rolled over and get used, not just for humanitarian but also for employment and family. But for the U's, for the U's that are taking, depending on when you filed it, but some people who file it now, where there's estimates of it maybe taking 10 years. There was recent litigation that for the U, if you get married recently, you could add a spouse to your U even up until before it gets approved when it's filed. And so that was a nice update. And the T's are also taking a few years. As to asylum, I was listening to some really complex asylum. Title 42 is still happening at the border. We've seen there's the pilot program for the asylum interviews in a few cities like Boston, Newark, Arlington, and some others. There is a huge backlog. I don't know if anybody's discussed whether they're going to get rid of last in, first out, but we'll continue to monitor that, because there's a lot of, people would love to get rid of that, honestly, because we have clients that have been waiting 5 or 6 years for their asylum interviews. But I'm looking forward to a deeper dive into the asylum conference material. Immigration court, I was just listening to right now the EOIR, which is the Executive Office of Immigration Review, open forum. One thing I forgot to say, it's just so refreshing to see the government just being just like dialogue. We didn't have, for the last 4 years, there was a lot of, they weren't allowed to come to our conference, the American Immigration Lawyers Association conference. The government wasn't allowed to talk to us freely. We weren't able to have quarterly stakeholder meetings, liaison appointment communication. This is just so refreshing. I think it's just something to acknowledge that it's happening. And the immigration court, there's a lot of backlog. They're trying to improve. They're going to be doing WebEx court hearings more in the future to try to reduce the backlog. But at the very end of the program, they were trying to recruit immigration attorneys to become judges, which it's great. We do need the private bar on the bench, and so I hope some of my colleagues will take them up on that offer. But that's exciting. That has been a complaint in the past, that not enough private attorneys become immigration judges, just be due to background checks and the hiring pipeline. So we're going to continue to monitor that. But in the Houston area, we do know that immigration court's supposed to open July 6th. And there'll be phases. There'll be a lot more telephonic or WebEx, and then there'll be in-person for merits and so on. But the thing is that since immigration's federal, and this conference is actually international. We have attorneys all around the world on doing U.S. immigration law. So we're learning what was happening all around the country. And we do have clients in court all over the country as well. The Department of State, still listening to those programs. They're probably happening right now. I think the general take is that they're only at a certain capacity, like I think 25-30% capacity at their consular corps. They're trying to get people back out there to their post, but it's just going to take time. They're between the COVID restrictions in the countries that they're posted in. So I heard, it's sort of scary that I heard there could be even up to maybe a 2-year wait, like potentially at Juarez, for all of the delays from not having appointments. I heard in other conferences and liaison talks that Department of State does have the power, maybe not the capacity, but they do have the power to conduct a lot of appointments, do video. But I don't think, just like immigration court really didn't have the capacity to do so at the beginning of COVID, I don't think that I don't know if that's in the works. The Department of Homeland Security, we had Secretary Mayorkas be our keynote, and our AILA president Ben Johnson did did ask him many questions and probed about what, future improvement. What was the name of that boat that got stuck? Was it Ever Given or Evergreen, or I don't know. I was always confused because I think it was, but it's almost like a lot of immigration is like that big gigantic boat that got stuck, and they're trying to shift it, even if it's just that little tugboat that could, or the little, those images of a little tractor trying to push it off of the coast. I mean, but it takes time, just from a business perspective. It takes time to change a culture, change time to procedures. Some of my other colleagues and the panelists were speaking about how it seems like now they're using the word customer, and they're looking at this is a positive change. They don't want to use the word alien. Even the website has pretty photos of immigrants and happiness. I just love it. I mean, maybe you guys don't notice this, but I do, because it wasn't like that for 4 years. It was. So anyway, bottom line, it's like I think that us as immigration attorneys have to just keep pushing the administration on all different fronts of what could be done better, because we don't want merely a reversal of the Trump era administration. We want even more, what we wanted even before Trump became president, to improve the process, the processing times, the procedures, the experience for our clients. I think there's going to be more digitalization of forms in the future, but they're trying to catch up on that. There were some memos that came out recently. One, it expanded the ability to expedite cases. I mean, there's just so many backlogs right now. So that's been great, because usually it had to be very dire circumstances. So there might be more chances for people to expedite cases. And there's also the ability to give work authorizations for certain case types for 2 years instead of just 1. I mean, there'd be times where we'd finally get it out, and then boom, I was like, wait, a year would go by because you have to file it a few months early. And I was just like, didn't we just do this? After a while, it gets a lot of deja vu. And so this will be great for our clients, because then they won't have to pay for a renewal filing fee, or potentially, if there's a filing fee for that, depending on their category, and hire their legal services, etc. So, and a lot of the things that are coming out are suggestions that attorneys made, that clients made, that people made, and they're listening. And that's another great thing. I didn't listen to the CBP. No, I was starting to listen to the CBP. I didn't finish that, but I will finish that and keep reporting. I think we might need to do a take 2 on this whole webinar, maybe in a couple of weeks when I have time to digest, because there's literally 4 or 5 days and multiple tracks, and we're going to divide this up to make sure that we give that information to you. And the Supreme Court decision, I mean, that was a 9-0. I mean, everybody agreed on this decision. The Sanchez v. Mayorkas is about basically, in a simplistic concept, that the TPS admission, just by nature of just having TPS, does not qualify as an admission, which certain circuits, about 3 or so, had determined. And so then that question is now, all those people who had those adjustments filed, or those people who got green cards through that, what does that mean while their case is pending, or if they ever want to naturalize or what have you? We might still get some more Supreme Court decisions here in June, but we'll continue to monitor that. And then the other one thing, as I close up, that was said is that they came, and this is the session we're going to do next Friday, is on the prosecutorial discretion memo. I have it around here because I keep wanting to read it in detail and highlight it up, but it's basically gives opportunity for OPLA attorneys to be able to terminate court cases when it's not an enforcement priority. So, for example, if a person has a U visa pending and they're in immigration court, well, the prior rules under the Trump administration was the judge could not give you a continuance, even though the U visa could take many years, like we started off saying. But this memo says that there's a priority for victims of crime. So that's basically U visa and more. But basically what we could take that is that you could use this to terminate the court case, so that you don't have to worry about that policy that the judges are not able to give the continuances. We heard someone report that they filed a motion to continue for, I don't know, it was administratively close the case, just to sort of like close it, but that means that anybody can ever open at any point if they wanted to. The judge, the trial attorney, the client. But the trial attorney wrote back and was like a motion to terminate. Like, just let's and I don't know if you understand that. That's like unheard of. Just to we asked for, like, you know, an inch and they gave us 2 inches. Like, they gave us more than we asked for. Like, that's what I'm trying. So this is fascinating. Like, my brain is like, there's a paradigm shift. It's not because I'm sleep deprived and had lots of coffee this week. It's because I'm just excited, you know, and maybe I'm a dork and a geek about immigration. I mean, that's good to have somebody like that in your corner, right? But this is making me think about a lot of cases, a lot of the consults we're having, and how we can improve that experience and maybe do something more. And the other thing that was mentioned in the hot topic family CLE earlier in the session, in the week, was about, we got the prosecutorial discretion memo about the enforcement priorities, about people who are in court. And that's what we're going to talk about next Friday. Attorney Cynthia Milian is going to talk more about that in English and Spanish. But we don't have one on benefit, like a benefit meaning like you could get a work authorization, or you could get not be deported, some type of not a status necessarily, but basically mostly work authorization, and not be targeted for removal. And so that might be, that's seems to be what we're looking forward to having as some type of stopgap measure. There's a lot of humanitarian situations out there where people don't qualify for anything and they need work authorization, they need a social, they need health insurance because they have health conditions, or they need to provide for their family. And so if we were to get that benefit memo, policy, strategy, plan, that would be a huge help for those who don't qualify, and for many other things. Oh, and the other thing I forgot to mention about DACA is that there is a case pending in Texas that could get rid of initial DACA. So they said that we should file our initial DACA as our travel permissions as soon as possible, just in case that were to go away. So I've been cautioning our clients to get their DACAs if they are their first time to get those cases out. So this was a free-flowing, what I remember hearing the last few days, conference update. Lots of, and you know, the funny thing is, this is not my first rodeo. I helped organize this conference. I've gone to a lot of them. I speak at them for many years. But generally, the Supreme Court makes decisions in June around the same week that we're together. And UAR, CBP, DOS, a lot of times they make these big announcements while we're all together. I don't know if it's just for fun, or they just figure, well, we're all together, we can all talk about it and figure it all out, what that really means. But the conference isn't over yet. It is Friday, so maybe we'll still get some more cool stuff today.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. So that's it. I better go back to this conference, y'all. So I guess the biggest takeaway is slow but positive. And we're continuing to advocate for our clients, and we'll keep digesting all this information and make sure that we'll keep doing these webinars on deeper dives on different topics. This is more global concept of lots of things, but you know, we are monitoring to this. We're going to conference, we're reading the memos, the policies, and we're trying to figure out how that best helps our clients. So, you know, that's also a positive take of what we're doing here. And even if you're not our client, but you're just listening, you know, this is a great opportunity to know what's going out there. You can always contact us for a consultation, and stay in touch with us. So Dana, I'll let you take it away.
Thank you. So thank you for all this information, Ruby. We are hoping to see what you conjure up for us next week on the Powers Hour. I'm sure we'll have a nice update by then. And yeah, we'll update our clients and our followers also as well on anything that we find out, or anything that Ruby wants to share.
We'll probably put some articles out there, and keep doing our webinars. And we're always open to doing webinars and any other topic that you're interested in hearing as well. We were setting up our July webinars, but we'd love to get your feedback as well.
Yeah, so email us or give us a call. You can even message us directly at any in our social medias for suggestions on topics for us to do. We also do them in English and in Spanish. So Please feel free to let us know any ideas that you may have. And where can you find us? You can follow us at Ruby Powers Law on all of our social media handles, and also on our Tuesday Powers Hour, where Attorney Powers and I go on and give you guys an update on what's been going on in the news, any new policy changes, and all that good stuff. And this is a link where you can stay connected. And also, yes, go ahead, Ruby.
No, I'm just going all over the place here, just like a little discotheque of slides. But next Friday, just in case you didn't catch it, we're going to talk, Attorney Milian is going to talk about the prosecutorial discretion memo. This is the one about, basically, if you're an immigration court and you have something that you're pending with USCIS, or you have a humanitarian, if you're not a top priority for their enforcement, a memo that just came out, then you have a chance to get your case terminated. And the government could come out and initially and do that, or if you have an attorney representing you, we can file motions to do that. So Attorney Milian is going to break that memo down and let you know what that means in English and Spanish.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys, for joining us for our weekly Friday webinar. And we really do hope to see you all on the next one on prosecutorial discretion, both on English and in Spanish. You all have a great rest of your weekend, and thank you.